Welcome, everyone. Happy Monday. It's time for Versus. Jurassic World Rebirth, or is it Refund? Because a lot of people saw it, did not love it, but it did make me want a Snickers bar. Plus, Superman is coming. That's right. Alan and pretty much everyone I know is seeing Superman tomorrow. We will have a Film Threat After Dark in the late night stream and talk about it. And we have lots of news stories. Superman, Fantastic Four, and a tribute to Jaws, plus your comments, questions. Let's get right to it. Let's go. Let's start the show. Come on. Hey, it's the All-Stars today. It's All-Stars. I'm kind of nursing a 4th of July hangover. Mm-hmm. So what did you guys do on the 4th? Was it a busy weekend?
Was it?
It was all right.
We saw Megan 2.0. That was all right. All right. And we had
F1 again.
Come on, barbecues, fun, drinking.
Steaks, and we had Megan 2.0.
So American, Alan.
What about you, Badger?
I saw F1 again. So just nice, relaxing, good movie that wasn't going to upset me.
It's not exactly American though.
Yeah, but I want to see F1 in 4DX, and it's out of the theaters. Jurassic is in there. Jurassic World. I like 4DX, but there aren't enough theaters. So Dante, what about yourself?
Just a mellow time with friends, man. Barbecue, fireworks, the whole deal. A little bit of alcohol. I didn't overdo it this time.
And a giant bowl of gummies.
Well, I had to.
Now we're all seeing Superman tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Dante, will you gummy or not gummy for Superman?
You know, I have to feel it out. I probably not. I'll probably just go in, bare-assed. But who knows?
Gummy as you sit down.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a game time decision.
I don't know if the movie warrants gummies. I don't know. We'll see.
Fantastic Four, on the other hand.
That, on the other hand, I will be gummied up, man.
Yeah, I think we will see that in 2 weeks from today. Yeah. They usually do it the Monday, and that is the week of San Diego Comic-Con.
I still don't care about that movie. I'm trying. Just Pedro is a non-starter for me.
I'm all about the popcorn buckets, and I don't really care. All of the merch, in fact, for FF, kind of just, I don't know. I'm not into it.
Yeah, the one bucket I'm interested in costs $85.
Galactus.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, well,
I almost feel like everybody has this apathy right now for Fantastic Four, right? Like no one's excited to go see this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because Marvel apathy and Pedro, it's a horrible combination.
Well, real quick before we start, go to shop.filmthreat.com. Check out our merch, support Film Threat on the channel. And we have a few comments to kick us off. So let's read your comments, and then we'll get to our first news story. Here we go.
Jeremiah Hembry for 5. Are we ready for a new Superman film? I'm ready for it to be out so we can stop hearing James Gunn talk about it.
Well, yeah, and then Badger, you're doing a live stream tomorrow night. Dante,
I'll do an out of review and then join you for your live stream.
Yeah. Everyone is welcome, but do your own thing, and I'm gonna catch up and watch everybody.
Lord Comet, member for 3 months. Hi, Chris Gore. Hope everything is good. Superman, I am on the fence on because some people think it's going to be Stupid Man. Rawr.
We'll talk about it. I will say this. We got invited to a press screening, what they call the all media, which is people like Alan and I are on that list. We are not special. We're we're last in line basically to see whatever it is. But we do fortunately get to see some things early. The press screening is at exactly the same time as that Amazon early access screening. And I already have tickets for it. So what difference does it make? Yeah. and Andrew Cram.
I don't understand the logic of what they're doing. Like,
okay,
I don't get released.
Here's my theory. Here's my theory. The Amazon screening did not sell out. And so they're throwing press in.
Yes. Oh, hey, DA. Thanks for joining.
What's up?
But why would they do screening on Amazon instead of just like waiting for theater release?
I have no idea.
I will say tickets through Amazon, but
Amazon, it's a promotional tie-in.
Okay, got it.
And because they can't open it up to regular people, because everyone who did the Amazon, will feel less special, they're going to give it to press.
So thank you, Andrew Cram, huge supporter of the channel. We appreciate you. 20 Film Threat memberships. By the way, if you go to our members only videos, you'll see embarrassing video of me at the Jaws live at the Hollywood Bowl. So I was there at the Hollywood Bowl. It's great. And then wait, how do we hide this this banner?
You deselected.
Okay, cool. I was there at the bowl. I put my sunglasses on, and one of the lenses just popped out. It's the timing was ridiculous. I look very stupid. So if you want to see stupid videos of me, go on our members only. But
did you do the picnic basket?
What?
Did you do a picnic basket or something?
I did not quite a picnic basket. I brought a cooler of hard seltzer. Probably saved myself $300.
Pretty much.
Everything at the bowl is expensive.
Oh my gosh.
So I never buy anything there if I can. Box office. Let's talk about it. Let's go.
Yes.
Alan, if you'd bring it up, who is the big winner this weekend?
The big winner is Jurassic World Rebirth. Born Again. Coming in at, this is important, at 147 million domestic, 174 million international, bringing it to almost $3.25 million. 300.
Pretty close between domestic and international. Normally, international is far higher than that.
Yeah, my guess is you'll see international kind of take off. And I don't know. Do you think it'll make the billion?
I think it's going to fall short. I think, but I will say this: the audience I saw it with actually really enjoyed it. They
clapped at the end. Yeah, say mine clapped at the.
They clapped. You know what? They are just, they love dinosaurs and people being killed by them.
They love Snicker bars too.
I, for one, didn't care about any of the people, and one of the people was Scarlett Johansson, and I do like her, and I thought it was terrible. So, what do you think? What do you think from this? F1 dropped 55% to number 2 with 20. What is this?
25.7 million.
25.7 million. How to Train Your Dragon hanging in there with 11.2 million. Number 3. Number 4, Elio with 5.7 million. Number 4, 45% drop off. 28 years later, number 5, 4.6 million. Mathregan 2.0 at number 6, 3.9 million. Lilo and Stitch. Wow.
Oh yeah, let's take a look at this one.
Is Lilo and Stitch going to hit $1 billion?
Lilo and Stitch is at 972 million.
It will hit $1 billion. It will hit $1 billion.
Is Disney just going to leave it in theaters until it hits $1 billion and say we're just not going to pull it out? Until
it does? 2 more weeks, and it's there.
Let's just say Elio will disappear before Lilo and Stitch disappear.
That's true. That's true. If you could go back, we will round out number 8, Mission Impossible, with 2.7 million. Materialist, number 9, 1.3 million for a total take of 33.5 million. And this is Spinal Tap.
Yeah, we're seeing that tonight.
A number 10 made $1 million. Wow. I would go, but I'm seeing whatever the mystery movie is. Any idea what that might be, DA?
I have no idea.
It's Superman, I bet.
It's R-rated, 90 minutes. Oh. I bet it's some horror movie.
Well, normally with the horror, they call it Scream Unseen.
Oh, right. That's true.
Yeah, so it's not a horror movie just based off of that, but I don't know. I haven't really checked into it. There's a Reddit thread that'll tell us what it is at 4 p.m. When the East Coasters watch it.
Yeah.
Some people are saying nobody Part 2, that would actually be not too bad.
Hour and a half. Thank you. That's a reasonable time for a movie. I love F1, but it is long.
Yeah.
So they're 3-hour movies.
I want to kick off a quick conversation about Jurassic World, but I don't know if you've seen these. Have you seen these videos where it's like a franchise, but then it's like an 80s sitcom? Have you seen these?
I have not.
All right. Well, I'm going to show it to you, and let's kick off. They might have done better if they just did this. Watch this. It's very quick.
In a home where the fences
Justine Bateman is
Oh,
skizzing somewhere.
Neighbor.
Dad's got rules, mom's got charm.
Daddy Allen.
Kids keep sneaking past the farm.
What?
Raptors chase, T-Rex calls, but home's still
Raptors.
standing through it all.
Oh, she looks better there. Okay, there we go.
Now just bringing up obscure characters.
We get the idea. All right, we get the idea here. It's ridiculous. These things. There's Harry Potter. They've got Star Wars. They've got all of these. I mean, it's dumb. But what did you guys think of the movie?
A Snickers bar.
Oh, there you go.
It's
What'd you
exactly
guys
what I
think of the
expected it to be. I expected it to be exactly what it was because that's what all the movies are. I'm starting to think maybe we're looking at these Jurassic Park / World movies the wrong way because if you really sit back and think about it, these are just horror sequels to the original, like a la The Curse of Michael Myers is to Halloween. Like, you know, if we start looking at the movies like these are just horror sequels, what do we expect out of The Curse of Michael Myers? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do we expect out of Halloween H2O? Not a lot.
Like
You know, we don't expect like, oh man, we're going to go all the way back to the beginning and they're going to give us some real art. No, it's just a derivative of the original. They're just going to line people up and slaughter them. That's basically what Jurassic Park movies are now. They're just going to line people up to get eaten by dinosaurs. The end. You know, they'll slap some silly plot around it and they'll talk about some character development. It's no character. There's nothing to these movies. And I'm starting to think that's how we got to start viewing these. They're just horror sequels like Friday the 13th, part 25.
Or Fast and Furious.
Yeah, but there
Or Fast
was
and
something.
Furious.
There was something to these movies. There was always some kind of existential question being asked, especially in that first one. Was should we even be playing with dinosaurs in the
Which
first?
they tried to do. I would argue that Jonathan Bailey, Dr. Loomis, was the most complete character who actually gave a shit about dinosaurs and wanted to experience them.
Yeah,
And
but his
real,
question
and it
wasn't about dinosaurs. It was about sharing biological sequences.
It was a healthcare and a global warming narrative behind it. It was not lost on me.
Which is
But
the furthest
also
thing from dinosaurs that you can get.
Well, let me
ScarJo, though.
Let me give you some idea of how big this franchise is. I'm gonna show you part of this video, and then I'm gonna put it on mute because you get the idea. It's a promo video for video stores about Jurassic Park, the original, coming on VHS. This is from our friends at the Found Footage Fest. This is how much they were promoting it even back then through a cassette sent to video store managers.
Awards. It had the biggest opening day ever.
Yeah,
Wow.
The biggest day ever.
Wow.
The biggest 7-day gross ever. And no other film in history has reached 100 million, 200 million, and 300 million.
That's so
Jurassic
much.
Park.
Oh, it's kind of
Jurassic
quaint
Park has
now.
earned an astounding $900 million at the worldwide box office.
Wow.
With the #1 film of all time. On October
Back
4th,
then.
1994, Steven Spielberg's entertainment powerhouse that made worldwide box office history opens its gates for everyone to own. Coming to home video, priced at just $24.99, and there will be no pay-per-view.
$24.98.
February 1st,
No
1995.
pay-per-view.
The biggest movie of all time will become the biggest video event in history as MCA Universal Home Video
Yeah.
launches one of the video industry's most comprehensive marketing campaigns ever. A 7-month marketing blitz that starts this July and continues through the holidays and into 1995. It all begins with a pre-sale campaign like no other. Retailers will receive a unique merchandising kit that includes a 3-sided sign-up center.
This is how they used to promote.
Bro,
Look at
I
how
worked
much-
at
Wait.
I
look
worked
how
at
much
Suncoast
support-
during this. I worked at Suncoast,
Really?
the motion picture company, when this was happening. Yes, I did. This is awesome, man. This is taking me all the way back to
But
the little
this-
like the signage right up front, and then everybody
Right.
had to fill out a slip to reserve their copy, and then they would come in with their slip to get their copy once they got. Oh man, it brings me. all
Oh,
the way
you
back.
would pre-order. It was insane. I didn't work at a video store then. I worked from like I worked, God, for like 7-8 years at Thomas Video in Royal Oak. And I worked there through 1989 when I ended up moving to Los Angeles that year. But these are the kind of things they would have the salespeople come in. We're going to do this and give you a standee, and there's a giveaway, and you pre-order, you get a keychain. It was like,
Yep.
it was insane. And now guess what? That entire revenue stream is gone, dead. They would do
Man.
contests. They would give jackets and shirts to like employees. It was all these giveaways and incentives. I'm going to play this with no audio while we talk about Jurassic World. But I mean, it's weird. It's Hollywood did this to itself. They destroyed a revenue stream that was like gigantic, which was video. You know,
Yeah.
it's insane.
Wow.
Here it was, the biggest movie of its time.
Video killed the radio star. This was just natural progression. But yeah, look at all the shit they had to do just to get the word out instead of a billion social media posts.
This was a video sent only to managers of stores
Mhm.
to tell you how they're supporting
I
the
meant a
release.
7-month campaign that they paid for, like to keep a movie this big. 7 months of paying for marketing. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean now it's like done. It's like done in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
There's
And
all
you
this.
saw how they said it's not going to be available, until a certain date. It was like a year. When did this movie come out? In 93, right?
93.
It
Yeah.
came out in 1993. So, you were sitting for a year or more waiting for movies to hit home video
Right.
in any form or fashion.
Yeah, but this was a time where movies ran for months at the movie theater.
Yeah.
So probably when this came out, it was probably still in theaters at the time.
And remember, they had legs,
Mhm.
right? They and also at the time, not quite here, but in like the 70s, 80s, movies would make more money their second, third weekend than their first.
Oh,
The
yeah.
first weekend they would roll out, a certain number of theaters, then they would add theaters, and they would continue to make more and more money. In this, the way movies are released now, it's the flip side. They make all the money that opening weekend or the 4-day weekend or whatever it is, and then hope for the best, and then it's dropping 50%.
We also can't stress enough just how shitty TVs used to be. So like
Look,
you went to the theater for a long time. It's not until very recently where home theaters have just become
Right.
so awesome that
and look at this. They're. I mean, look. I'll turn the audio up for a second, but
We'll team up with MTV and Beach MTV to bring viewers the outrageous
Beach
Jurassic Park Call of the Wild contest.
oh my God,
3
it's so
times a
dumb.
week, contestants will go head-to-head in a fierce competition to win their own Jurassic Park survival kits, including one of the first home video release copies of
I like
Jurassic
this
Park.
marketing.
And
Actually,
viewers
on
at
the
home
beach.
can compete to win a trip
I
for
like
2
that.
to Kauai by dialing MCA Universal Home Video's special Jurassic Park hotline. Beach MTV segments with the Jurassic Park promotion will be taped for the first time ever in Jurassic Park Stomping Ground, Hawaii, and will air 3 times a week for 4 weeks beginning July 25th.
Remember when impressions were a thing?
Next comes an extensive cross-promotional program with
Video
Jell-O
goes on
ready-to-eat
for like
snacks.
15
This
minutes.
massive promotion
Jell-O
features a
tie-in.
$5 consumer mail-in rebate offer with the purchase of the Jurassic Park video and 6 proofs of purchase from Jell-O ready-to-eat
I
Jell-O.
mean, look at how much support the home video release got.
Yeah.
Not to mention the theatrical. This is when Hollywood made money, real money. It's just, I don't know, it's crazy now.
But it's also when Hollywood was doing more original, movies. Nowadays it's just derivatives, it's just sequels, prequels, it's reboots, it's like stuff that people really don't care about. And it's hard to pull this off, another Jello marketing campaign for Jurassic Park 7. It's like nobody would really go for this. But when this was new and it was original, it was one of a kind. Oh yeah, man, you could do all kinds of good, interesting marketing campaigns for something that's this unique and original.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the biggest problem Hollywood has.
I mean, Jurassic Park, the original, was so groundbreaking. Its use of its integration with CG. Truly.
Yeah.
I mean, I this is a long time ago, but it's like you've never seen movies like this before, like Jurassic Park before. CompuServe was a thing back in 1993.
CompuServe promotion, control room simulator.
Right.
This is
computers.
When CompuServe,
1994.
Prodigy.
Oh
That's so
my
awesome,
God.
man.
Yeah, and the issue with Rebirth is that they just try to hit those same moments without earning them. Like, okay, here's big dinosaurs. We're gonna play the da-na-na, be awed by it, and it just it rings false. And yeah,
channel.
I had a chance.
Well, this is going on for a while, but look, it's the only franchise I can think of. There's no central character. It's just dinosaurs and that logo. And if you know anything about the guy who designed the logo for the book, his name is Chip Kidd. Look him up. He does a whole speech about how he came up with that logo and how iconic it was. It was on the book. And then they decided, well, let's use it for the movie poster. And here it is to today. Look up Chip Kidd. He's a graphic designer. If you're curious. A McDonald's promotion. Look, it's insane.
American
I hope
Tail.
goes west.
That like how intense these campaigns are. Now, it's not as if Fantastic Four and Superman don't have this kind of support, and we'll talk about that later. But the movie, it's a really weird franchise because it's just people love dinosaurs. And one last thought, and is that it's not male or female specific franchise. As a father to a son and daughter, they equally love dinosaurs. Don't know why. It's not like a Barbie or superheroes, which I think actually Barbie is a girl brand.
Well, for them it's like Godzilla, right? Or watching like a kaiju movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy. So I don't know. Any final thoughts on Jurassic World? I think it's gonna drop, but July is up in the air. I have no predictions.
Look, I'm not surprised by the success of this, man. I mean, it's funny. We're sitting here looking at a McDonald's symbol, and how many people eat at that place, knowing how garbage it is, right?
Yeah.
Right. But people sometimes you just want garbage. Sometimes you just have you have no taste, and you know what? And that's fine. Not every movie has to be thought-provoking or it just needs to be entertaining.
But international McDonald's tastes better than this.
And that's why we're on Fast and the Furious number 11, right? Because people just want mindless fun.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I think there's room in Hollywood. Yeah, there's room in Hollywood for, a franchise like Jurassic World or Park, whatever, that has pretty much one good movie, one decent movie, and then the rest of it is just dinos eating people and just nonsense. And I think that's fine. Like the comparison I made to Slasher. There's nothing after you get past Halloween 1. What is there after that? What quality is there after that in the Halloween franchise? Little to none.
I agree.
So but this current one, I just don't feel like there's much weight behind it compared to even the Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard ones, and the ones before it. This one just felt like we're just slapping dinosaurs up there, which means in the sequel we're gonna get lesbian space witches.
Yeah, but they're saying it doesn't matter because it's just trash. My point is
exactly.
but we could still aspire to be a little bit more because it's like
we could put some
right there. First, I think they should have picked between either a group of mercenaries doing their video game mission and or a family that gets lost and has to survive. Because I would have preferred that than the constant jumping back and forth and really not caring about anyone. But I don't know.
Well,
it doesn't all
that's why people are comparing this. I'm definitely comparing this to Jurassic Park 3. Because that was purely a rescue a kid. That was the movie, and
just watch
that
it. It's
movie
far better,
far superior.
Yeah, actually,
okay,
absolutely.
but you guys have to remember we're on movie number 7 here. right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to get better. You know what I mean? It's
No.
number 7.
Yeah,
Not with
and
that
that's why I'm
attitude.
saying it's just a matter of time before we get lesbian space witches in Jurassic.
Or lesbian dinosaurs.
Yeah.
How about?
Well, they're
how
all
about,
women.
What?
begin.
No,
Weren't they originally lesbian dinosaurs? Wait,
Yeah.
no, they were
guys,
just
you're
all-
missing it. You're missing it. Jurassic Pride. It's dinosaurs
no.
at a pride parade eating people. Jurassic
fun, though.
Pride.
Oh.
Someone do a Jurassic Pride poster.
They would burn Hollywood down. Are you kidding me?
Jurassic Pride. The logo, you make it rainbow. It's at a pride parade.
And
Yeah,
then
a
we'll
bunch
finally
of
know
gays
how
get
they
eaten by a
how they
T-Rex,
got
right?
extinct.
Yeah, and you have like dinosaurs dressed in like leather.
Oh,
So it could bring it full circle.
Well, they have to wear chaps because of the tails.
oh
so
God.
Right, they have to wear chaps. Oh my
Just
god.
necessity.
What are we talking about here?
Yeah,
This
we've
is
gone off the
crazy.
rails again.
A
Completely.
Snicker bar wrapper made a door short out, and that is the start of the whole movie. You sort of know what you're going to get right from the very beginning.
Bingo.
That did make me really want a Snickers bar.
I know.
And
Anyways,
Scarlett's character should have been a man, a muscle man mercenary, and Jonathan Bailey's Dr. Loomis should have been a nerdy hot chick, but instead they swapped, and so I got neither Booba nor Muscle Man, and then I just got sort of effeminate John Bailey Loomis, who when he tried to do something manly, Scarlett said, no, I'll take the shot, and then immediately misfired her weapon, so I just got nothing.
Well, Zora needed to lean into the male gaze. That's
Yes.
this goes. It's crazy that this was how they did these campaigns back in the day. But I can tell you, if there was a campaign on the back of a cereal box or Jello or Pop-Tarts, I collected UPC codes. I mailed it in with my checker money order for $1.99 for shipping and handling, and I waited patiently for 4 to 6 weeks for delivery, because I would like fill out those forms. I took advantage of every one of those promotions, if it was Star Wars or Star Trek or Jurassic Park, and there was some hoops you had to jump through. I was always there. Anyways,
You got your decoder ring.
Let me ask you this: did the X-ray glasses work?
they do not. I can confirm, but yeah, well, there you go. So, and
We'll get a sequel. We will get a
shout
sequel.
out to our friends at Found Footage Fest. They dig up a lot of crazy stuff. Let's go to chat comments and questions here.
Danielson for $9.99. Hey guys, hope you had a happy 4th of July. I can't wait for tomorrow. I got my custom-made Truth, Justice, and the American Way Superman shirt. Wearing it tomorrow. Superman underwear, Alan, Chris.
Yeah, I gotta find some
awesome.
red.
I'll
Find some red
bring.
trunks.
I got red underwear because Alan and I are doing the challenge.
If I can find it.
Yeah, I do have a pair of red underwear.
Is the challenge to wear red underwear outside your pants when you go see a
Yes,
movie?
I'm doing it.
Wow.
Chris, if you
actually
do
stunning
that, I might
and
have to
brave.
stand a few feet away from you
Yeah. No, Dante, be an ally.
because we are in LA.
Yeah,
Exactly.
No,
Be an
that
ally.
means
I've
you'll
seen-
fit right
That
in.
means you fit right in, man.
Yeah, I've seen weirder things. Trust me.
Got Christy Jones for 2. Jurassic will take more than Soups and FF combined.
It's possible.
We'll see. I doubt it.
Brandon Powell, member for 2 months. I'm not going to watch Fantastic Four because it looks like trash. I want the Galactus popcorn bucket, though. Any pro tips on snagging one?
Here's
Pay
what you do.
$80.
Here's what you do. Yeah. First of all, just pay for it. But I would recommend going to the theater early, just saying, I'm not here to see the film. I just would like to buy a popcorn bucket. They'll let you in, but get there like around noon
Yeah.
when theaters open. They'll be gone that night. They will sell out.
You also might want to
100%.
check AMC and Regal online, their online store. It might be there. You might be able to buy it.
Yeah, either buy it online or or go to the theater early.
That's a good
and walk
question.
right
Can
in.
you buy it online?
Yeah, some of
Yeah.
them they sell online.
For
That
some
was-
of them, there's a deal now with Fandango where you can buy Jaws, a physical copy of Jaws on 4K. You also get digital and the Jaws popcorn bucket. We'll talk about that in our next segment here. So
The G-Man for 5. The island didn't feel alive. Dinosaurs only showed up for a gag or to move the plot forward. Yeah, also true.
Yep.
Yeah, that opening sequence of the island just was so uninspiring.
Yeah.
And then it's like 45 minutes before you return. So it was like, I kept waiting for it to, Adrian for 2. Did someone say lesbian space witches? Yes. G-Man for 5. Did the little girl take the baby dinosaur home with her? Yes, she did take Dolores away from the equator where everyone knows it would surely die. Baby killer. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
She took it. Lame.
Yeah.
All right. I want to talk about a movie I know we've all seen. Jaws. This past weekend, I saw Jaws at the Hollywood Bowl with music by the accompaniment by the LA Philharmonic. Had a great time. There's photos and videos on my personal social media, and you can see other videos for members only. But I want to talk about Jaws, which I know we've all seen, and the impact this had. Let me show you a short video just to explain how impactful this was.
Jaws made you afraid to go in the water. Jaws 2 made you afraid to go back in the water. Jaws 3D was a new dimension in terror. In Jaws 4: The Revenge, it was personal. Then it was just business. Then pure pleasure. Cyber Jaws made you afraid to log on. And Robo Jaws made you afraid of robotic sharks. Then Chief Brody's grandson assembled a super team of shark hunters. Jaws was man versus shark versus all the terrors of the deep. Outer space. Then a prequel and a sequel to the prequel. And then a new era in terror began. Jaws started a family. Battled a Russian shark named Ivan Sharkovsky, took a bite out of the Big Apple, and learned about love from a mysterious stranger. Jaws 18 Origins, the mind-blowing reboot. Now, the oceans are disappearing, and to save their home, the sharks must attack. Jaws 19. This time, it's really, really personal.
Well, there you go. I don't know what you think about that, but I, for one, am a huge Jaws fan. Watching the movie, with, I don't know, over 10,000 people at the bowl, was just reminded me, it's just a monster movie. It doesn't surprise me that Spielberg went on to make Jurassic Park. They're very similar in that sense. The T-Rex may as well be, a shark. But any thoughts on Jaws? Its impact, and I have one more video I want to play.
Well, that video forgot to mention the actual Braun Jaws spoof.
There was one.
So I hear.
I assume.
I hear there might be a porn spoof of Jaws, but I don't know for sure.
What's funny is I'm watching that video. A little Jaws. What did they get up to? 4, right? After Jaws 3D, I checked.
I mean, there might be like one with like Jaws versus Revenge, climate change or something like that.
That was the last one, right?
What's in Back to the Future too? It's Jaws 5 when the shark comes and chases them, or whatever it is.
Right.
In 2015, they're supposed to be in them.
Right. That's weird.
That's the only shark movies I've ever liked. All the other stuff, Deep Blue Sea and the Meg and whatever other kind of,
because it plays way more than just a shark movie. Brody and the Richard Dreyfuss character, and just everyone on, it's just so good. The wife, I always love the wife when she's like, want to get drunk and fool around. Like it's just such a natural. It feels like they really exist.
Yes.
And,
the performance is very like 70s naturalistic. It felt like an independent film, but in a big budget studio movie.
And then the more you learn about it, that the speech that Quint gives, he was really drunk, and that all really happened. You go, what the what? And then you go look it up. Just so many moments from that film. All the dinner scenes.
The USS, was it in the Indianapolis?
And the sinking and being overdue. And I'll never put on a life jacket again. Oh, that was my bro.
Can you imagine if they made a prequel to Jaws, that they would do the Indianapolis story, but as a movie?
That would be wild.
Been shown before also, but yeah.
Wild. And also, I'm watching Jaws and I'm like, oh my gosh, if they made Jaws now, do you realize they would basically make Richard Dreyfuss, that's a woman.
Zendaya.
100%.
Oh,
She
yeah.
would
Oh,
be
yeah.
like a girl boss. Seriously.
No, it's the Robert Shaw role that will
It would
go
be
forward.
Pedro
Yes.
Pascal, right? He'd be the sheriff, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
No,
Mother
Pedro
Hannah
Pascal.
would
guys,
be
come on.
Quint.
Yeah, here we go. So
Well,
this is from Film Thread.
Laura Dern would be Quint.
If you look up shark, there are literally dozens of awful exorcist shark, like
There's Narco
Ouija
Shark.
shark,
Sharknado.
Yeah,
Sharknado, all
Sharknado,
the
Jurassic
Sharknado
Shark,
Yeah,
movies.
Sharknado.
Cocaine Shark.
Crazy.
Cocaine Shark. yeah.
Cocaine shark. Yes, that
Well,
exists.
Yeah.
And also the biggest thing that like everyone gives him credit for, like
48
less is more.
Wait, there are 48 pages, 9 reviews per page.
Shark Baby.
That's like 400 reviews of shark-related films on
Ouija Shark.
You guys really like
Oh
sharks.
my God, there's Sharknado.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's your interview with Anthony Ferrante.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my God. Well, one last video to play. This is San Diegans react to the movie Jaws in July 1975. Here they are. It's just a new local news report.
Do you think it's going to change your going into the water or swimming or anything like that? It didn't scare you that way.
No, I read the book first, so I sort of knew what I was going to see.
You think the next time you get in the water, you might look around a little bit?
No, I'm going to shut my eyes.
I don't know. I'm still pretty wheezy from the movie. Really realistic. It's really crazy.
You think it might make you look around a little next time you hit the water?
A little bit for dolphins, anything. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, I'm not a water lover anyway. As far as the beach is concerned, I definitely won't be going in now.
Ever again?
Never. I won't even paddle in the water anymore.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna still go in. I'll think about it, when I'm in there. I know, but I'm not. I'll go in.
Okay.
But I was scared.
I'm not gonna go in that deep anymore.
How deep?
That's what she said.
Just waist high. Huh?
Yeah.
Is that movie going to keep you out of the water because of the sharks?
It'll keep me out for a while. I don't know about those sharks. I'll still be in the water a lot, but I won't go out very far.
Well, one thing I want to point out, all those people are dead pretty much. I'm pretty
Jesus.
sure they're all
Or on the verge of it. I just think that's funny. They're like,
For the
I'm
most
only going to
part,
go in.
They might
I'm only
be.
going to go in a little bit, but the whole plot in the movie is that he's like, isn't it true that most shark attacks take place in 2 to 3 feet of water? It's like, they could still get you.
Well, look, I broke down. I got the Jaws bucket right here, and you can get it. They're selling it every. This is not hard to get, so it's the one. I don't care about Superman or Fantastic Four, but
I believe
I had to get
AMC
this one.
still have it actually.
Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. Any final thoughts on Jaws?
Yeah, I was going to say that was my introduction into Roy Schneider. So that was like my first Roy Schneider movie.
Wow.
Same. Richard Dreyfuss, my first one.
Richard.
And then What About Bob? So you got like very different Richard Dreyfuss movies.
Hey, let's talk about the Fantastic Four First Steps. A new BTS just dropped. I have not seen this.
Oh no.
So I think it'll be worth seeing. Let's take a
man,
look.
If it's Pedro dancing, I'm out.
No Pedro dancing, as far as I know. But let's take a look. It's 90 seconds, worth checking out. Let's go.
Welcome to the Baxter building.
Alien life was always a foregone conclusion.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you a special look at Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four: First Steps.
I've been a huge fan of the Fantastic Four since the beginning. I was a kid reading these comics, so the chance to help bring them to life was too hard to pass up.
And now, for the first time ever at Marvel Studios, we can make a Fantastic Four movie.
Action! We're going to build this retro future world. Build real sets, real locations. Reed's lab and the Baxter building, this incredible Times Square backlot set.
Fire it up!
We built practical suits. We are your family.
Just seeing the four of them together is going to be worth the price of admission.
I get the feeling I've already seen the whole movie. That's the feeling I get.
I mean,
but
definitely
where
the
is
production values are what's drawing me to this movie. That nothing else.
well, I do like the practical sets, practical car.
Mm-hmm.
It seems more practical, but I'm told they don't really use their powers all that much, that their powers are about their personality. You know, Sue's leadership, Reed's
the biggest red
brain.
flag that they don't know how to
I'm
do
ju-
his stretchy powers. His Marvel Legends character has one accessory, and it's just the arms going long. The only thing we've seen is his arms going long and his legs. Like, they're gonna have zero imagination with Reed and his powers.
At least it's his arms growing long.
Just hey, man, I'd rather use it if you got it. There's a reason they're happily
There's
married.
a reason why Sue stays with the man.
Thank you, Don. I was saying there's a. But they're gonna have
Sue is a very happy woman.
I'm very happy that they're.
She could
doing
be anywhere in the
practical
house.
Oh my god!
Best ingredients don't matter if you don't know how to cook.
Did you notice what Kevin Feige said? It was
What?
exciting. It was exciting to finally bring the four back together versus Han, Luke, and Leia.
Right. Oh my god. But what do we? I just feel like the hype for this movie is really kind of not there. Am I wrong?
You know what? I think I figured out why, actually. I think
Why?
because everything we've seen is kind of just all leading to the same place, and we all kind of almost know how it's going to end. So there's no excitement, man. We know Galactus is coming, right? It's
right.
We've seen nothing between that and them, you know, being on that stupid TV show every time, right? I just think that I feel like the art of making a trailer has been lost, right? Like nothing, even forget Fantastic Four, even most trailers I watch, I'm looking at it like there's no inspiration here. I have no desire, I have no incentive to go watch your film if I already know what's going to happen. If I already kind of feel like I'll be wasting 3 hours of my time, right?
Yep. And I've already said, like, Marvel builds upon itself. So what's come from Marvel this year that's getting you excited about this?
Nothing.
I know.
Nothing.
This feels like
Screw
a
you,
pivot.
racist Ironheart. All right, she is iconic.
All right. Oh no.
She's iconic.
I hope she's in
It's
this
like
one.
we had what did we have before Ironheart? We had the Thunderbolts, which didn't make any money, which flopped in the box office. Before
But
that,
had Fantastic Four at the end, and my fucking audience clapped, and I hear Normie saying they're happy for. So we may hate Pedro.
Is that real?
nobody went to see it. Nobody saw it. Nobody cares. All right. Everybody's checked out of the MCU. Nobody went to, well, people did go and see, more people went to see Captain America, I think, than the Thunderbolts. I think it made more money. But again, you're just seeing diminishing returns. You're seeing less and less interest. You know, nobody cared. I mean, Daredevil was a disaster. Like,
Didn't even
everything they've
chart.
done so far this year has just been terrible. So what momentum is there leading into the Fantastic Four that gets you excited, gets you hyped up? Nothing. Zero, zilch, no hype, no nothing. And that's the reason why it seems like it's under the radar. Everybody's talking about Superman for all the wrong reasons, in my opinion, but people are talking about it. Nobody's talking about the Fantastic Four.
You know,
By the way,
sorry,
real quick, more tie-ins than any recent Marvel movie. AMC, Cinemark, Alamo Drafthouse, Regal at Popcorn Buckets, Kroger. We have General Mills popcorn. We've got True Moo milk. We've got Pop-Tarts. It's crazy. And I have never seen Marvel do more merch, more marketing tie-ins than for any other film. They're banking everything on FF.
And the
Sorry,
cereal.
Dante, sorry to interrupt you, Dante.
They have that. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, you know, I put out a tweet a few weeks ago where I said, you know, promotion material is killing these movies, man. I hold to that. I think there needs to be one teaser, one trailer. That's it. No behind the scenes, no clips, no social media posts. Just teaser, trailer. That's it. We're done.
Well, I mean, that's marketing. You should never put anything out that's going to cast doubt on your product. And that's what Superman and that's what Fantastic Four has been doing. They put stuff out there that makes us doubt whether this is going to be a good movie or not. It makes us doubt whether they nailed the characters right as well.
Yeah.
I
think one of the missing ingredients when it came to everybody talking about the Barbie level marketing that Superman was going to do, and probably Fantastic Four as well, is that Barbie was like a new thing. Like, we hadn't seen a Barbie movie before. We've seen Superman movies. We've seen Fantastic Four movies. What they really needed to do is not try to explain the characters and who they are and why they're doing what they're doing, because we already know who these characters are. Like Dante said, give me a nice trailer. All right. Give me a couple of posters. Maybe Empire does their, right before the movie comes out, they do that big, expose, and that's it. That's all we need. We don't need to see trailer after clip after clip after trailer. We just it's too much. And now it's like you said, Chris, it's like I feel like I've seen the entire movie. I know everything that happens. So why do I want to even spend money to go to this? Especially when I know it's probably going to be on Disney Plus in about 3 or 4 months. I can wait.
Okay. On that note, another new clip just dropped. I'm serious.
Is this the clip where they defeat Galactus?
No, right. This is another new clip dropped. So I want to I want to just show it to you guys. Just to give you some idea.
I almost feel like we should put a spoiler warning out for these things now.
Right? I mean, this is pretty extended.
The entire movie already leaked, and then that last trailer basically proved that leak correct. So if you want to know what happens, it's easily searchable.
Well, you ready? Here we go for another clip from the Fantastic Four. Here we go.
What are you doing? What do you mean, what am I doing? I mean, you're going to ruin your appetite. I'm hungry. We're never late for Sunday dinner. Should we wait? I guess.
Yeah, she's
late.
Late.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean? You're late for dinner.
Oh, yes, we are. Really?
By a single minute.
Yes, we were just...
I had to put some aloe iodine
just
on
had
my
to-
shoulder. And,
I do his shoulder. And
why is that breakfast cereal on the dinner table?
Why are you being weird?
You're not,
We're
we're not being weird.
Well, I'm doing that weird thing with your face.
Oh, we
so.
don't know what you're talking about.
Are you pregnant?
Yeah, we're pregnant.
Yes,
How do you know that?
Have you looked at your husband's face?
I know. He just cannot keep a secret.
What? Really?
Yeah.
What? You are gonna be the best mom. Oh my God.
And you are going to be the best dad. Just kidding. You are out of your depth. But we're going to be the best uncles ever. Okay, we should eat.
The cereal, by the way, on the dinner table was Lucky Charms.
That was so terrible, man.
Little marketing tie-in. What do we think about the tone of it? It seems pretty wholesome.
The writer doesn't know comedy at all.
There's a hole that felt fucking soulless. I know Pedro is a charisma vacuum, but man, I'm even less. I'm more apathetic now than I was.
Soulless is a very good word for that, because I felt nothing.
I felt nothing.
Nope.
And
nothing.
For those asking, Pedro is doing a transatlantic dialect. I'm like, the way he used to talk in the old timey, so much so that they told him to reel it back. So that's his reserved transatlantic accent.
I don't understand why we just couldn't get a masculine Reed Richards. Like, I don't understand why we couldn't get a comment for the guy who says, he grew up reading Fantastic Four and couldn't wait to bring it to the big screen, and he doesn't know how to cast Reed Richards.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. The whole thing.
It all smells really phony and really stupid.
The Thing voice is still horrible. Just sounds like a dude.
It sounds like they're just, again, it's one of these, we got some characters that we want to make some money off of. Fantastic Four, they're finally in the house. Let's just go ahead and put a movie out there. Let's not put a lot of thought into what it is that we're doing. And it seems like they're disconnected once again from the fans. The fans aren't going to rock with this. I don't think this is going to do very well.
So at
based
least
on
with
all the
Superman,
trailers and all the clips that I've seen, man.
At least with Superman, David and Rachel and all the actual actors seem to have a lot of charisma and understand their characters. So I can ignore Gunn and You know what I'm saying? What he thinks a movie might play might be different than the way I'm going to interpret it, as opposed to that, which is just like, oh, there's just nothing there for me to latch onto.
Yeah.
Or
Whenever I hear someone from Marvel Studios say, I read the comic book, I feel like they didn't read the comic book.
You're right.
I mean, what comic?
Look, I
the last 5 years.
Yeah, well, he says he read the Fantastic Four, and I'm looking at this. I'm going, well, you got the look of the Fantastic Four. I think you saw pictures of the Fantastic Four. I don't think you ever read the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
You know, I mean, at least with James Gunn, he read Superman. You know he read these characters and very familiar with these characters, and he knows
I've said that.
how comic book stories are told. But I just don't get any of that from anyone coming out of Marvel Studios anymore.
You mentioned home, DA.
Mm-hmm.
On the Zillow website, if you're ever looking for a home, and I'm pretty sure none of us are because we live in California and can't afford one. But if you live in a place where you can afford a Zillow actually has a listing for the Baxter building. Guess how much it costs?
A bunch of fours.
$4,444,444, and it's 4-bedroom, 4-bath with 4,444 square feet. There are photos. Let's look at the photos here. Get a little tour of the Baxter. I gotta say, the one thing I like about this movie is the design. They even made Herbie kind of logical in that kind of retro future look. So I gotta say, I kind of like this.
Maybe the Fallout people can hire them, because I don't think we're going to get much more of this.
Oh, wait, is this they have a trailer talking about the real estate. Okay, I haven't seen this. Let's watch it. Let's watch this trailer here. Here we go. Real quick.
Hello, I'm Jack West, your Zillow partner agent. Let's take your first step into the home of tomorrow with a personal tour of the Baxter building, the iconic home of the Fantastic Four. Step inside and soak up panoramic views of the Big Apple. You might just see the Human Torch light up the sky. Over here is the sunken conversation pit, perfect for family bonding or just enjoying a quiet evening in with color television. The Baxter Building's state-of-the-art kitchens always make mealtime a breeze. Flame on with the indoor barbecue. These zoned bedrooms provide the ultimate balance of practicality and privacy. After all, even superheroes need a little downtime, especially when you're expecting a fantastic addition to the family. Working from home, this space can be stretched as far as your imagination. Perfect for science experiments, cosmic travel, or just calculating your buyability. It's been a pleasure showing you around. And remember, the future looks bright from the Baxter Building. See Fantastic Four First Steps only in theaters.
I mean, I like the retro future thing. I like the sort of Mad Men style. I kind of like it, but I think it's all about the characters.
But it's also why they needed a more masculine Reed Richards, right?
Well, if
you're going to go with that style, you need a masculine man to go with it. John Hamm would have been a great Reed Richards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to like Human Torch's depiction either. You're not going to get the ladies' man. They may throw themselves at him, but he will not act like Human Torch.
Right. No, of course not.
No. Too bad.
So we're not. So we're just not pumped. Is that what it is? I mean, this is also. We saw the merch. We saw this. I don't remember more tie-ins, more clever marketing like Zillow and whatnot for any other movie they've ever done.
Oh, they might have gotten smart. They might have realized that they're not making their money back at the box office. And so just like F1 had a bunch of sponsorships, and I realized, they might have just been like, let's just make money anywhere we can.
Yeah.
Eat cereal.
I mean, we have to give them credit. I think the Zillow thing, it's clever, but they're promoting a brand more than a movie. The movie's like an afterthought, in my opinion.
Okay, here's the thing. We all know, all of us are going to watch it. That's the thing. All of us are going to see it. That's kind of like a given, right? But I'm wondering about normies. Are normies are they excited for this? Because I mean, it's easy for us to be skeptical because we are, and even a little pessimistic because we are. But how are normies like that? That's what I don't know. I don't know.
They
what
don't
the
see all
gauge-
these
I don't know what the
clips.
gauge is for normies out there.
Well, I mean, you're asking an interesting question. I mean, are normies going to go out and see this opening night? Are they going to see it a week or two later, or are they just going to wait for it to get on Disney Plus?
The hardcores.
Well, look at again. That's why I keep saying, look at what these other Marvel properties are doing in this year, and that gives you an idea of how like locked in the normies are with the entire MCU. Because if the Fantastic Four was going to do well, we would see a swell of interest. We would hear people buzzing about it and talking about it. We would have seen the box office for all these other TV shows or movies. We would have saw that elevated. You know, people would, oh, okay, you know, Thunderbolts, I'm excited. Yeah, it made like, you know, $600-700 million. That thing crashed out, what, around 350? You know, that tells me nobody's interested in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, period, right now. They're waiting. Like, I think a lot of people have checked out. They loved it in the first 3 phases where movies were making $1 billion, almost every single one of them. And now, you know, I think, what's the last one that made $1 billion? What was it? Not Doctor Strange.
It's a multiverse of... No, not multiverse.
No.
But yeah, that's
Spider-Man one.
It was the closest. It was the closest to $1 billion. And it's just been downhill since then. I don't think anybody's caring. The normie, the fans, us, we're probably going to lock in and go and watch superhero movies. The normies, they've lost the general audience. They've checked out. They're going to other things. They'll watch, you know, Top Gun Maverick, maybe check out, you know, F1, Jurassic World. They're still interested in those movies. I don't think anybody cares about superhero movies when they talk about superhero fatigue.
Yeah, here, I'll tell you why.
I think there's a thing to it.
I'll tell you why the sponsorships are important. It's because this movie opening weekend cannot perform like Thunderbolts. It cannot perform like Captain America Brave New World. This needs to be number one at the box office opening weekend. And decidedly so, or Marvel Studios is in big trouble. And I think that's why these sponsorship ties, these popcorn buckets are so important, because it gets the movie out there. It makes it, they've got to have a great opening weekend or it's over.
But also
I was going to say the next movie after this is Doomsday. So they got to get some momentum going. They got to build up. The next MCU movie after this, well, I think Spidey No Way Home, but the next one Marvel is doing is Doomsday. So they got to build some momentum, and they got to build it right now. And this movie had better hit, you know, because Doomsday is going to flop on his ass.
But it's not going to do that. It's not going to be the gateway to Doomsday. It's not going to be the build up. It's on its own. The other question I had was, okay, besides the normies, I think this is also going to put a spotlight on Pedro Pascal finally, right?
Yeah,
if this movie does not succeed, are the studios going to look at Pedro Pascal and say, "Oh, we banked on the wrong guy," or are they going to ignore it?
Or the audience is homophobic
anyway?
They'll blame us.
Yeah.
By the way, the next Marvel movie after this is Spider-Man with John Barenthal, and if you believe it, fucking Mark Ruffalo Hulk in a smaller. Remember, so it's no longer a bridging movie. So, man, they could just market Avengers with Robert Downey Jr. They don't need to build momentum. They could just cameos, Robert Downey Jr. And everyone that checked out maybe will start paying attention.
But do people really care about a character that's never been introduced? Like, they've never introduced Dr. Doom until this. You know, we had a buildup for Thanos, you know, but Robert Downey Jr. by himself, is that enough to sell an entire Avengers movie and make everybody want to, I got to go and see Robert Downey Jr. in this Avengers movie, even though I don't know jack shit about what he's in here, why, who's his character. I don't know anything about this movie, but I'm going to go throw all of my money into it and go watch this. Why? Why? Because I'm hoping it'll
Robert
be the
Downey
Avengers
Jr.
of yesteryear.
Not to mention how confusing is it that to a normie who's only known him as Iron Man to now see him as Doctor Doom.
I think people will make the leap. I think people want Robert Downey Jr. in it, whether it's a good move or not, or whether it'll enhance the story. That's irrelevant. I think people want
people that checked out at Endgame will like,
because quite frankly, there's no one else in the world that can get people excited about going to see an Avengers movie than Robert Downey Jr.
Chris Evans ain't doing it.
Nope.
And then who is Robert Downey Jr.'s arch nemesis going to be?
Reed, who they never met.
Richards.
Yeah, who they didn't grow
Pedro
up. They
Pascal. Come on, it's the winning combination. Pedro Pascal versus Robert Downey Jr.
Oh yeah,
I mean that's not
showdown
money.
we've all been waiting for. All right, we've been. It's like Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior. We just been waiting on this, man.
And we know how that one turned out.
Well, Elizabeth Olsen will come back and she'll be a main character, and then Riri can come and she can be a main character, and Simu Liu,
and Echo,
Agatha, just all the. I mean, that is the report from Doomsday Avengers, that they're filming stuff on Fantastic Four's Earth, and then there's still stuff with Sentry and his mommy inside the Void. Like, all the stuff from the phase that everyone ignored will be prominently wrapped up and or expanded upon in that first Avengers. Florence,
I just don't see it. I can't see. Again, we're not normies. So just like Dante said, I don't really know what the normie is feeling like, but how could you possibly care about this movie just because it has RDJ and all of those chairs, all the names on the backs of those chairs? Like, how could you possibly care about that movie coming out off of all of this crap, crap that we just saw? Why would you care about anything in the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now? I just don't see it.
They told us we don't have to care because they said the casting wasn't finished because the script wasn't finished, right? So like they know things are going to happen, but they don't know who's going to say what depending on scheduling, which means a bunch of this actions doesn't matter because just like Marvel Ultimate Alliance, just depends on who you choose to be in the party to say the stupid line.
Yeah.
There's no
and yet
weight to
James
it.
Gunn wants a completed script before he greenlights something.
Make it make sense, Alan.
Let's go to comments here, and then we're going to pivot to a lot of Superman stories we have for you. So let's go.
Major Chai, member for 2 months. Got my tickets to see Jaws in August. I was able to score 2 Jaws popcorn buckets last night while seeing Spinal Tap. Shout out.
That's awesome. What would this? Thank you, Major Chai. What would the Spinal Tap popcorn bucket be? Probably a
China
guitar.
11.
Yeah.
An amp that goes to 11.
Yeah. I saw people with those Jurassic World Rebirth like popcorn. It wasn't a bucket. It was a giant footprint that you put popcorn in.
Oh, no
They're
kidding.
Getting so impractical.
No, the ones we have are dinosaur cages with a dinosaur in it.
Carlos Estrada for $1. Just throwing $1 at you. Here,
Thank you,
dance.
Carlos.
There you go. Thank
Appreciate
you.
you.
Dave Chappelle for 100. R.I.P. Julian McMahon, aka Dr. Doom in FF.
Yeah. Nip tuck.
Yeah.
Come on.
Secretly battled cancer and unfortunately lost, but yeah. Norwegian Kryptonian for 25. Dinosaurs in Space, 1 billion. Yep.
Yeah, why hasn't that happened yet?
Norwegian Kryptonian for 59. I'm not a fan of them releasing entire scenes as trailers, teasers.
Me either.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
out of context.
Yeah, exactly.
Press him to start for 2. Alec Baldwin going to be signing at Comic-Con. Oh,
is he?
You guys better get signatures. Yeah.
I know he's doing the con circuit. He needs the money.
Oh, wow.
Lawyers aren't cheap.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's talk about. Thank you, M. Press M to start. We have a lot of Superman stories. Okay. So let's get right to it. Can David Corenswet save Superman? I'm not sure, but our friend Steph from My Nerdy Home posted a clip. She says, Rachel, I've lost count. David, you look like Cyclops. I haven't seen this.
They're doing a staring contest.
Okay,
They're both married, by the way, just to point that out.
Let's find out.
Who cares?
Intimidating her.
This is like an ASMR video.
I love the briefing. Yes.
Wow.
It's fun at this distance. You get the Cyclops effect where both of your eyes become one eye.
You have two somehow. I feel cross-eyed though.
You gotta look through me. Not happy.
I can't.
Yeah. You just got one big, beautiful green eye?
Ew.
Blue. It's cool.
That's okay, ridiculous.
Okay, yeah.
But I will say, Rachel Brosnahan, I'm liking. The more we see of her, I don't mind.
Oh yeah.
Oh no,
I don't
she's
mind
hot.
at all.
I mean, yes, I like her.
But you know what though? They obviously have chemistry, which is good, right? I mean, you at least feel the chemistry between them. I mean, you don't get that with Reed Richards and Sue.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
Like that Steph waited until we were done with Jurassic Park and Fantastic Four to show up. I see what you did.
hello.
I know what you did. Hi.
Yeah. Hey, Steph, we're going over your X post, your recent X post. So there you
David
go.
Corenswet, yes.
Yes, staring contest.
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
sorry I'm late. I had some stuff that I had to take care of outside of my house. So
Oh, weather has been nuts lately.
it has been, yeah. Last night it was crazy weather. So.
Yeah. We've got a story here. Oh, sorry. I don't know why that came on. Alan, I don't know what you're doing.
Oops.
Here.
I'm sorry, what?
But thank you for that, Alan. Can David Corenswet save Superman? This is from what magazine is it from? GQ. From GQ, and we have notes for the story. Badger, if you would, and let's get the highlights.
Can David Corenswet save Superman? David Corenswet might look every inch the perfect Superman, all chiseled jawline, sunlit charm, and throwback charisma. But behind the scenes, he's carrying a very modern burden, the immense pressure of box office expectations. Superman isn't just a movie. It's the linchpin in James Gunn's grand plan to reboot the entire DC cinematic universe. As Gunn puts it bluntly, if I don't find Superman, I'm not going to do this movie, because without the right actor and without a successful launch, the whole interconnected franchise could stall before it begins. The stakes are sky high, both creatively and financially. After years of false starts and middling returns for the character, Warner Brothers is counting on Superman to not just perform, but to revive. While Gunn downplays the noise, it doesn't need to be as big of a situation as people are saying. Industry watchers know that pressure looms large. Some speculate the film needs to clear $700 million to be deemed a hit. Corenswet, meanwhile, is choosing optimism over anxiety. I don't really feel the pressure, he says. The pressure I feel is to show up for James and deliver for him. Still, the actor admits he considered turning down the role, knowing full well the legacy and curse that's dogged previous Supermen. But in the end, he made peace with the risk. If this is the only role I get to play for the rest of my life, would I still say yes? The answer was yes.
So what do we think? I'll tell you this. The best marketing they have for this movie is that man, David Corenswet.
Yep.
Absolutely.
He seems so like he's like the character.
He's
in
a
many
nerd
ways.
too.
He's a nerd. He's an optimist. Thoughts on David?
I think he's very down to earth and professional as well, which is I feel like that's rare when it comes to actors nowadays. They're always ready and willing to give like their personal and political opinions, and he's very professional when it comes to interviews, and he's incredibly likable. They've been doing a bunch of cringe marketing when you put it on another platform, but a lot of TikTok marketing. And you get to see like behind the scenes and his personality, and it's perfect. I think he's a great choice and a great actor for Superman. I'm just hoping that the movie is good.
As someone who wanted Henry Cavill to get his movies, and I literally said, I was like, they're gonna have to drag me kicking and screaming to liking this. David convinced me to like him.
Yeah, I was going to say it was really hard to replace Henry Cavill, even if you weren't a Snyder bro. You still liked Henry Cavill.
Yes.
And I think he had an impossible job to do, and he did it. He won the crowd over. He won the audience over. I think this movie is going to succeed purely in a way because of him. And obviously I'm gonna give James Gunn his credit, but David is carrying this movie as he should, being Superman. So
and Rachel and they're talking, and Nicholas Hoult talking about Lex Luthor, saying that he looks at Superman the way artists look at AI, and that Superman's holding humanity back from doing this on their man. They really actually paid attention to their characters and did the research and read when we talk about comics, it's not the comics from 5 years ago. They read the 20 and 30 and 40-year-old comics. So I can't complain.
No, David Corenswet honestly is one of the better castings that we've seen in the superhero movie in a long time. I think he's going to do a really good job as Superman. Whether the movie or not is good or not, that's a whole other story. I like the chemistry he has with Rachel Brosnahan. I would have leaned all the way into this right here, what we're seeing on the screen. It's just Superman and Lois Lane, and we're going to put them everywhere that we can. We're going to have James Gunn fall all the way back out of the marketing, and we're just going to promote these two. And I think that would have been the winning move, and I think they would be looking at a much different narrative than they're looking at right now. But yeah, David Corenswet, he's the real deal. He's the real deal. So I'm feeling it. Look, I was one of the first people that was pissed off that Henry Cavill wasn't coming back as Superman. And I said, yo, they better nail the next casting. Whoever Superman is, he better be, better than Henry Cavill, in my opinion. Now, I don't know if he's better than Henry Cavill. We got to see the movie first. before we can make that determination.
It'll
But
be
in my
different.
opinion, they've got
They're
as
all
close.
different.
Yeah, they're all different. But I think at some point in time, you got to say, well, who is the definitive Superman for a universe that's just kicking off? You're starting off this universe. They started off the last one with Superman, and I think they nailed it. Henry Cavill looks like he walked right off the comic book cover. You know, he looked perfect as Superman. This guy with the suit, it's like, I don't know about this suit. Suit looks kind of weird, but, you know, okay, let's give it a shot. Let's see what it is. At the end of the day, I just want a good Superman movie. I want them to do with DC what they did with Marvel, which give us, a 3 phases of a solid superhero universe, connect it all together, have it lead all the way up to, whoever it is, Darkseid or whoever, Brainiac, I don't care. But at some point in time, I feel like DC has to get this done. Otherwise it's just a giant missed opportunity.
Yeah, they got to get it right.
There's a huge opportunity for them to, finally do something with the DC universe and, make some really great films and, kind of take over the superhero genre with Marvel being where it's at.
Yeah. Apathy is at an all-time high.
I think they're in a good place, man. Because Peacemaker comes out after this, and I'm a huge fan of Peacemaker. I loved the first season. Loved him in Suicide Squad. I think if James Gunn I think he has a plan. That's what I'm trying to say. I do believe he has a plan. Whether it's going to be the new MCU or not, who knows, right? I mean, I think the MCU was lightning in a bottle. I don't think it could really happen that way quite again. But just give us good stories. Just give us good movies, and we'll go watch them.
Yeah, maybe not capturing lightning in a bottle, but perhaps getting people excited for a superhero film again. You know what I mean?
I think that's going to be hard to do, but yeah.
There's something about the haphazard nature that the MCU was pulled together with. It's just start with a Hulk and an Iron Man movie and just built from there.
Yeah. Well, now they really need to do what DA talks about. DC needs momentum, but the problem is like, even if this is a banger, like this is a 10 out of 10, the next movie we get is Supergirl and then Clayface. So,
right.
And even if those are bang, you know what I'm saying? They just have to keep having banger after banger. They're going to be different genres and one movie at a time.
Speaking of bangers, Chris, what's up with that?
I'm just saying.
More like bang her, am I right?
I'm just saying. Hey, there was a I don't know if you're familiar with this show, Rick and Morty. The kids love it. But
it's a good show.
James Gunn and Zack Snyder appeared on an episode of Rick and Morty. The clip has surfaced on X. I'll find it for you in a second. But I think James Gunn may not be the best way to promote this movie.
You think?
I just get the feeling. And this is actually, we're going to go to Steph's X account where she's posted it. This is pretty funny. I've seen it. So let's check it out here real quick. Here it is. Yeah, let's check this out, folks. James Gunn and Zack Snyder on a great episode of Rick and Morty. Here we go.
Extra creatine, please.
That's him.
Oh, hi, Zack Snyder. Just saw your new cut of Superman, and word of advice, he's the man of steel, not the man of conversation. Okay. Do more shots of him punching, and here is a secret move. Start the punch at regular speed, and then you're going to ramp it down. It's not a fucking secret. I'm sorry, Zack Snyder. I shouldn't be lashing out at you. Your biceps are the size of my head. Yes, but so is my heart. What's going on with you? Some fan of the Velocity franchise got onto the lot today. He used a portal and he just... Zack, we're not losing touch with the audience, are we? I mean, I gave notes on the goddamn Count Chocula movie this morning. Was the portal green? That's Rick Sanchez, Gunner. That's the guy that sealed Nolan in the giant bookcase to quote-unquote punish him for Interstellar. He doesn't represent real fans. He's just the smartest man in the universe. Don't sweat it. He can't do what we do. Probably. Gonna go crush some weights. One day you're gonna wish you hit the gym like I do, James Gunn.
I don't know what the context is, but that was pretty damn funny. That was pretty damn funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So silly.
Well,
But
Rick and Morty is usually on point. So,
and it sounds like them. They did the voices. It sounds like
them.
Yeah, it's their voices.
credits.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't particularly insulting. I don't know. I thought that was fine. It was fine. But something I want to talk about here also. James Gunn did an interview, and we need to discuss it. I know Alan has a take on this. We've got the notes from the Times. James Gunn. Some people will take offense at my new Superman, and this must be a UK-based paper because they misspelled offense. But Badger, if you would.
James Gunn's Superman arrives at a time when the world feels like it desperately needs a hero, not just one who can fly or lift buildings, but one who represents hope, morality, and basic kindness. The film sheds the weight of past reboots and introduces the Man of Steel, played by David Corenswet, fully formed, already working at the Daily Planet, already dating Lois Lane, and already battered from battle with Lex Luthor's goons in the opening minutes. There are 3 things I don't ever need to see again in a superhero movie, Gunn jokes, ticking off overused origin tropes like Batman's alleyway and Spider-Man's spider bite. He skips the baby rocket from Krypton entirely. Instead, Gunn delivers a Superman story fit for 2025, timely, tight at 2 hours, and unafraid to ask serious questions like, should Superman have stopped a war? Through a bold 10-minute scene of Clark and Lois debating geopolitics. At its core, the film isn't just about heroism, it's about humanity. Gunn explains it's about politics, but on another level, it's about morality. While Lois argues for pragmatic justice, Superman remains steadfast in his refusal to kill. The debate is heartfelt, not heavy-handed, and speaks to today's fractured discourse. Gunn's Superman is playful, kind, and yes, joined by a flying superdog in a cape named Crypto. Still, the film's deeper resonance comes from Superman's legacy as a refugee, written by sons of immigrants and long embraced as a symbol of belonging. Superman is the story of America, Gunn says, but for me, it's mostly a story that says basic human kindness is a value and is something we have lost. When critics sneer at Corenswet's gentleness, calling him soft for high-fiving kids, Gunn doesn't hold back. Screw them. In a world burning with online rage and global uncertainty, Gunn offers not just a blockbuster, but a fable, a call to be just a little bit kinder.
What do you guys think? Because I have seen so many thumbnails for people saying, James Gunn, I'm fucked. I'm just all this, it's like people are way, way overreacting to this quote. I think he's saying, look, Superman is a nice guy in a world that doesn't like nice guys. He didn't say, I think if you're looking at it from one political side, you could be offended. But I really think the guy who wrote this was baiting him. What do you think, Alan?
Yeah. Oh, thanks. I think it's leaning in. The criticisms is about the dog whistle angle.
Yes.
Just by saying the word immigrant, it just conjures up everything, all the politics today. And that's when you say the interview was probably baiting him. I think that's what this is. It's to say that. Look, I probably on the panel, I'm the closest thing to an immigrant. My parents, my mom wasn't born here. My dad is first generation Chinese. But I kind of get it. I grew up, Superman crash landed on a planet. He's the only one of his kind in the sense of he's not like everybody else around him. I've certainly been in that position where, grew up in South Central, then moved to an all white neighborhood. Not like I grew up around people who were like me. And to James Gunn's point, the reason I survived is because, everyone around me liked each other. We all just got along. That's
you do,
the
Alan?
American dream.
You assimilated.
In South Central, it was me. I befriended, my best friend was black. My mom, she got to know the Jewish family in our community. And like I said, the American dream was the fact that everyone from everywhere can come here. And if you put the work in, you're going to make the American dream come true. And that's certainly what my parents did. So I kind of see it if I look at James Gunn's comments from that angle, it seems to make all the sense in the world.
I just think people are overreacting to this quote. I think Gunn was baited into making this political,
a controversial statement for clicks.
Yeah,
but here's the problem with that.
Yeah,
here's my problem with that. This is exactly why James Gunn shouldn't be doing interviews, doing a lot of interviews anyway, because he does go back and forth with people on social media. He likes to get into the mud with everybody else and clap back and talk and say what it is that he wants to say, instead of being, media savvy and understanding, hey, this guy is trying to finesse me into an answer that's going to give him a headline that everybody's going to click on. Instead of understanding that, he just blurts out the answer, and now everybody's talking about it, and his movie is going to suffer because of it.
It's what Alan said.
Back.
Yeah, I mean, he probably had all the right intentions in the words he said.
Of course, I have no problem with that.
He couldn't step back and realize, no, he's falling into a trap.
Yeah, and also people are taking a modern day interpretation of what immigrant means. Superman comes from an arguably superior civilization and people. He did not come here for a better life. He had a better life there. His fucking planet exploded. He had to come here. And the only best thing he can do is take the best parts of his Kryptonian heritage and inspire us to reach that level. This is not like someone coming from fucking Mexico and being like, I hope you guys can get as great as Mexico was. And all that. It's like, so that's why he's a refugee who then assimilated Earth and specifically American culture.
Yeah, experience all the best values of America and the American dream
to American parents.
Became Superman because of that.
Yeah,
I just think it's like people are trying to find something to be upset about with it. That's the feeling I get. Now, other people will criticize me for like, no, come on, but I think the guy who wrote this article has TDS.
Is this the gayest Superman? Would you think this is the? It's that type of shit.
It's someone is really baiting and trying to, and Gunn is trying to dance around. Now, in the past, he has been political. I think he's learned his lesson, backed off. But
has he?
Yeah, maybe,
yeah, more than others.
More than others, but I mean, he's still willing to get down and dirty with people and clap back. That's what I don't like about it. Look, Bob Iger has more political media savvy than James Gunn as a head of a studio or head of an organization. You got to know when to shut the hell up. All right. And
when you're
just
the head of a
back
studio,
off of all of your commentary and just be like, you know what? Go see the movie. I hope you enjoy it. I made it for everybody. I hope the world loves it. Give some pat answer and just move on. Get out of the interview, because you knew that this guy was going to try to bait you into a clickbait headline, and that's exactly what happened. And now again, he's the one that's suffering for it. His movie's going to suffer for it, and maybe his universe will suffer for it, because this guy doesn't understand how to shut up. Maybe he needs to get Peter Safran to do all the interviews when it comes to the DCU. Maybe that's what he needs to do.
He needs Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers to contact him. Shout out to Eric July, who told the story of like once he became prominent with Ripperverse and all that, like Jeremy politely was like, hey bro, you're the head of a very like prominent comic thing now with a lot of money and people involved. You can't be reply guying to people anymore.
Right.
He's the head of DC Studios.
That's what James Gunn don't get.
It is time to stop responding to everyone. Yes, correct.
Yeah. That's his problem. That's his major problem. All right. I think this guy knows comics better than a lot of other, creators out there. The one line that he gave in Peacemaker about Batman, I don't want to say it, but when Batman basically had his coterie of supervillains and why Batman doesn't kill and all this other, like that told me right there that James Gunn understands the comic books. All right, he understands the lore, he understands the conversations that even comic book fans have about the characters. So James Gunn is locked in. He knows what's up, but he just talks too much. And he just needs to fall back and be a director. Chris Nolan doesn't get into this kind of trouble. All right. Chris Nolan just makes movies and he just puts them out there. And he has a small little interview and that's it. That's who James Gunn needs to be.
He's not on social media. That's why.
Yeah. That's what James Gunn needs to be. Not on social media. You're the head of a studio. All right. Fall back.
It's funny. I don't care what the politics are of filmmakers. I look, in Hollywood, I assume everybody's a liberal. Everybody is pretty much on the left that directs a movie. You might find one or two directors who might stand out and say, no, but for the most part, they're all liberal. They're all leftists. So that means what? Don't watch any movie. My problem is the just being vocal about it, right? You can have all the politics you want, As long as you could tell a decent story, I don't care. And you can even tell a leftist story. If it's good, I'll watch it, and I'll give it credit for being good. The problem is, though, is the conversations, right? The conversations online, the social media, that's the problem.
Oh, well, you know why that is, right? Because we're now caught in a proxy war between gun gooners and Snyder bros that will just use any example to fight because of some real double standards, but also the fact that, yeah, they're just going to keep fighting. I just want to watch this movie and enjoy it.
It's funny. If this comment were about Man of Steel, I'd understand it more.
Man of Steel was political too. In that one, he had Krypton
I
go
think
away
these
because
comments fit more into Man of Steel than this one.
If you go back, Zack Snyder had Krypton be destroyed because they used all their natural resources, even though they were spacefaring and could have got natural resources from. So, like, it's not that it wasn't there, but when Man of Steel was promoting, Zack Snyder wasn't every other second saying shit. Henry was the forefront of it, and
But
David
also,
is not the
things
forefront.
weren't as hyper political as they are now.
Correct.
So,
The author of this article definitely had an agenda when it came to this interview, because this was a very long article and it was a very lengthy interview with James Gunn. So he definitely had like an idea of what he wanted to write, and he asked those right questions to James Gunn in order to get those answers from him. Because there was definitely an angle. He went on and talked about like James Gunn's battle with Trump and his history with Trump. And he talks about how do you think this movie will play in blue states as opposed to red states. So there was definitely an angle here, and James Gunn completely just
fell into it. Yeah, absolutely. He fell into the trap. And you know what? He fell into the trap, and he said what he said. So whether he was baited or not and didn't shut up, he still said what he said, and so the things that he said people didn't like, and that's why they were talking about it. But yeah, his idea of Superman being about truth, justice, and the human way and no longer the American way, towards the end of this article, it talks about how the reason they went to that was because his market research showed him that people liked it from a more international perspective. So he's a hero for the world and not just America. You know what I mean? So he definitely played into this guy's hand, for sure, 100%. But I'm still going to be like, I don't like the things that he says, and I'm going to talk about it, because he said what he said in this interview. So,
well, it's really going to be all about the movie now. They've done the promotion, they've done TikToks, they've done staring contests and little cute videos. With lots of clips, we've seen a lot of it now. But an early leaked Superman review came out, and it's not looking good. And tonight we will see the social reaction to the movie, and tomorrow we'll do a special Film Threat After Dark stream because we will have seen the film. This early review, I don't know if you got notes there, Badger, but it's not looking good. I think at best case, the reaction to this movie will be mixed. Terrible new Superman movie is final nail in superhero cinema's coffin.
It also depends who wrote it, though.
Nick Shager wrote it.
Yeah, no, I don't have notes for this one.
But basically, he's you go through a lot of it is a lot of the synopsis of the story. We won't get into it. This review was up for about 5 minutes before it was pulled. But I don't know. What do we think? The reviews are coming.
There's good ones that have leaked too, like saying the opposite. Like, I don't want to get in trouble, but I had the polar opposite experience.
Everyone I know who's seen it, like I know at least 2 people, they had opposite opinions.
I think you're either going to like it or hate it. Like, it's either going to be very extreme reactions.
Well, I think the reaction's been mixed. I talked to 2 people who saw a test screening. One said loved it, like Fantastic Four is in trouble. This movie's great. It's really fun. I do think from what we've seen, it looks like a movie more for families or kids. It's a very accessible, fun, more comic book Superman. Not a brooding, goth, dark. It's like, Batman and Superman are very different types of characters, tone wise, and Zack Snyder made a Superman movie with the tone of a Batman.
Gunn said it. It's a world where there's portals and aliens and all that shit from comic books. Like,
yes,
one of the negative reviews said it played like a Saturday morning cartoon. That to me is a good thing, because it goes to the good review that said it's like Superman the animated series. So
I don't mind that.
Yeah,
as soon as I heard that, I was like, "Oh hell yeah, that's what
that's
I've
a
been waiting
positive."
on.
Yeah,
I've been waiting on that.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's weird. It's a litmus test. And look, I think I like Man of Steel. I'm not a Snyder bro. I like Man of Steel, but I also like original Superman, Man of Steel. I could very well like this as well. It's his own thing, but it seems like a very, very sharp turn from what Superman was. Also, what I do like about it, what I've seen, very comic book colored. I don't like the cinematographer, but I like that it's bright.
Yeah.
And
I don't mind it. I love the brightness of it, because you're absolutely right. Batman and Superman have two very distinct settings, and I want a Superman movie to be very bright. So I do like the.
Do you want to read this review, Badger? Do you have the link?
Sure. I mean, I can.
Are there
spoilers
in here?
Are there spoilers in this review?
Because I would rather not read it if there's spoilers.
Yeah, there are. You know what? There are. So forget it. We won't read. But I put the link in the description or in the private chat if you want to look at it. But it does go into more of the story than I've ever seen anything so far.
Yeah, I would much rather learn that when I first see it than
which I feel like I've seen already from all the copious amounts of leaks that now go in sequential order, and you could basically see the first part of the movie. Oh yeah.
But apparently it was the editor at the Daily Beast who accidentally pressed publish instead of schedule.
Right.
That's how
accidentally.
got out.
Yeah, but what are we?
Yeah, I know the guy that he's a big Zack Snyder fan, the writer of that article. That Tom from Midnight's Edge had actually found that information and posted up on X. He's a huge Zack Snyder fan. He hated Sinners. I mean, you gotta have you gotta start looking at what these reviewers have reviewed before, to kind of line up with where they are with a lot of movies. You can't just say, "Oh, okay, he didn't like the movie." Okay, well, what else didn't he like, or what else has he liked, and then start putting the pieces together that way.
But which is why we're drawn to certain critics versus other critics.
Was the author of the article a Snyder fan, or was the person that shared it on X a Snyder fan? Because I know the person that shared it on X was a Snyder fan. The author was a Snyder fan as well.
Yeah. If I can find it, I'll find it for you. Nick Shager.
Shout out to Tom for being one of the first people to post comic captures when everyone complained about Superman breaking through Lex Luthor's door. Like multiple comic captures of Superman breaking through Lex Luthor's door. Like they're just pulling from the OG comics.
Yeah. I don't know. I just want to see it now. I'm tired of clips.
Yeah, I know.
I'm tired of social media promotion. I want to see it and judge for myself. It might be one of those things where it's so very different. I had this experience with Man of Steel. It was so very different than previous incarnations of Superman. It took me a while to appreciate it. I liked it more. I think, and I will say this, maybe this is controversial. I think Man of Steel has aged well.
It's aged like fine wine, Chris.
I like the Krypton stuff. I like parts of it. I mean, make fun of me all you want. When I first saw it, I really was like shocked by it. And then the more I saw it years later, I really liked it. I like the Hans Zimmer score. It's not Donner Superman. It's different, more serious take. Chris Nolan famously worked on it, so it was very different. I've come to appreciate
it's Earth One. Like all these movies are just based on different comic runs, and I wish we could just look at all the different movies as different runs of comics by different artists and writers. They all hit something right, and they all hit something wrong.
But
some hit more right
what
than
I'm
wrong,
saying is, we might see James Gunn's Superman, and then when we see it, need kind of time to process. I don't know. What do you guys think? And
I mean, I'll say that my expectations are low, which is probably a good thing going in.
Yeah.
That I'm not going to go in expecting Christopher Reeves. And I'm definitely not going to go in thinking I'm going to see Man of Steel's, which is good.
I like
Anyone
Badger's
else?
take on it. Different comic runs, that's how we should
Yeah.
look at it. I actually recently rewatched Superman Returns, and I liked it a lot better than I remember liking it.
a great
I'm
Superman.
going into this new Superman movie optimistic. I see it tomorrow, so I'm excited. But I'm going into it optimistic. I want it to be good because I want some really good DC superhero movies again. I want to look forward to the next DC movie. So I'm going in there optimistic. I'm trying to, tune out everything that James Gunn has said, everything that I've read. And so I'm optimistic about it.
Well, here's James Gunn.
Yeah. Dan Mora, one of my favorite artists, but notice how James is in front.
Right.
Over Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's the thing. I hope Superman is good because then it'll make watching Fantastic Four palatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would really hate to go into Fantastic Four just seeing a bad Superman movie.
Here we go. Midnight said After Dark. Another example of the media being an issue is the recent London Times interview. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah. People have twisted that story for sure.
Yeah.
So, hey, one last item today I want to discuss. Something that affects us all. AMC is adding more commercials before movies, and I'm pissed. I saw Jurassic World Rebirth. I wanted a Jurassic World refund when they showed a insurance commercial. I screamed
in between trailers, not before.
Really?
Not before the show.
Premium.
Oh my god!
They're called premium
It's
trailers.
like
Yep.
in between the trailers, and then we saw a trailer for the Odyssey, which was not great. It was very forgettable. But they showed this insurance commercial, and all I said was no ads. Boo! So please boo at your local theater when you see ads. And the movie started not 20 minutes late, 30 minutes late.
Yeah.
We've gotten to the point now with assigned seating, you reserve your seat, where everyone shows up different times of late.
I like that Chris has just realized this. Cinemark has been this way for months. 30 to 40 minutes
I don't
of
go to
commercials.
Cinemark.
Yeah, I know.
Not my brand.
You now suffer with us little people. Ha ha. Yeah.
Well,
You know,
gotta show
those
30 minutes late now.
empty theater pictures I once in a while post, that's 5 minutes before showtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just gotten annoying. So we do
I
have
hate
a
that.
story about this. I want to share it.
I have
but
notes.
I'm please read the notes. I'm gonna share a screen with this article.
AMC
from
Theaters
Variety.
is stuffing more ads into movie screenings, and while that might help their bottom line in the short term, it's not exactly delivering on the magic Nicole Kidman promised in that viral pre-show monologue.
They
While the
are.
company is still carrying nearly $4 billion in debt, struggling through one of the worst quarters in decades, AMC is turning to commercials for everything from fast food to Fresca to stay afloat. But as ticket prices rise, audiences are left wondering why they're paying more to sit through what feels like a glorified TV commercial block. It's a lot to ask in an era of instant gratification, especially when the movie experience already requires hours of commitment, from parking to popcorn to now pre-roll ads. Sure, people still love trailers. 81% of moviegoers say they enjoy them, according to a Fandango study. But enthusiasm drops off a cliff when it comes to unrelated product ads. Even AMC once acknowledged in 2019 that too many commercials could turn people off, but they've since changed their tune. Rival chains like Regal and Cinemark embraced more ads years ago and didn't see a drop in attendance, giving AMC a reason to follow suit. Meanwhile, theaters have made improvements from comfier seats to better food, but that premium experience is undercut by the ad overload. When you hear AMC, do you think of glittering movie palaces or sticky seats and stupid word scramblers? If this is the new magic, a lot of people might start streaming their movies from the couch instead.
Yeah, I mean, there's that pre-show where you can it's the pre-show is kind of dumb. But
Maria
and the other
Menounos?
thing is,
I used to
yes,
like Maria Menounos. Yeah,
Not
man,
anymore.
the
Not
little
anymore.
trivia.
Very Nimarov.
The
there are
newbie-
literally
newbie
She's
trivia.
gracefully.
Yeah.
you get
The movie
free.
trivia is awesome.
You've got the AMC ad with Nicole Kidman, which is fine. I like the short one, 30 seconds, movie start. But that black couple, You're already
Oh,
in an
my
AMC
God.
theater. And also, we're supposed to believe that guy is with the same girl. He looks like a player. He should be dating different. They should do the same commercial, but he's with different women. And then at some point, they all meet and figure it out. Whatever. That would be funny. But you don't need 3 AMC. And then there's the Dolby Cinema. They got to, promote that. Like, we're in the seats. We bought the ticket. I don't need a very short. And then they do the Megan, be quiet in the theater thing, right? You've seen that one. Mm-hmm. How many? It's out of control. I do like it having a window of time, 20 minutes. I can get popcorn, hit the bathroom. I've got time. But this is now Jurassic World Rebirth. It was 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
Yeah.
No way.
Let's
that's
all
crazy.
go to the lobby. Yes, Cinemark has the mob, guys.
Well, I mean, ultimately, the question is, do you want theaters to close sooner or later?
Yes.
There's just this harsh reality that it's difficult. It costs a lot of money to run a theater, and they've got to do what they got to do. And the other thing is, if Hollywood was putting out better movies, this wouldn't be an issue. People would come out. You'd have more people filling your seats, and you'd be making a whole lot more money.
I feel like the new normal is people will just show up 30 minutes late, basically.
They already are, but it sucks because I'm an aisle seat guy. I don't know. Criticize me. People want center. I like the aisle. I want to get up and go. I got people constantly going by me while I'm trying to get settled in.
Yeah, that's why you sit in the center.
Yeah,
because you're right there in the middle.
No, center tops. You could take the elevator up and you have a private bathroom. Come on, Chris.
High.
Where do you go to
on the aisle?
I know.
Cinemark that is stadium seating. So as long as you sit in the back row and you cannot see the seats in front of you, you just take the elevator up. You got a private. I got it locked in.
But I love going to my IMAX theater and being the only one in there and not having anyone bother me. It's like my private screening room. I love it, and I'll sit through commercials to have it. But Jurassic Rebirth was unbearable. I think we were definitely at the 30-minute mark when the movie finally started.
Yeah, I think three trailers and an AMC ad is about enough. You don't need more than that. And then maybe Maria Menounos is cute, so we can do Maria Menounos in the new V right before it all starts, and then give me 3 trailers. Give me AMC, welcome to AMC, and sit down and enjoy the movie, and that's it. All right, 20 minutes. I'm good with 20 minutes. 30 minutes pushing, like, come on, guys, that's way too much. It's way too much.
Yeah, I'm not even good with 20 minutes, man. Just start the movie. Give me like 2 trailers to start the movie.
But I want popcorn.
Plenty of time.
I like the trailers. Sometimes the trailer in the theater hits, and like I did not like that Running Man trailer, but then I saw it in like the big screen, and it I'm still not crazy, but it played a lot better. Same thing with like some of the Superman trailers,
especially that Freakier Friday trailer. Oh boy, that was great.
So you know what? No one's talking about the Odyssey trailer.
Yeah,
no one is talking.
It was on my phone when it came on, so
are we allowed to talk about it? Because then they take it down.
American
it doesn't matter. I mean, it's out, right?
Well, it's kind of like the Love Boat. It just shows who's in the movie, basically.
Yeah, it's a nothing trailer.
Crying Tom Holland talking to John Barenthal. So like
John Barenthal playing John Barenthal.
Yeah.
Let's go to comments as we wrap up.
Graph Web for 2. In the name of all that is holy, hashtag cancel Disney Plus. So prolific, Graph.
Thanks, Graph Web.
Andrew Cram for 20. Who are the Avengers now? Because I watched the Thunderbolts and they teased the Fantastic Four and they called themselves the new Avengers. Remember, they're getting sued by Sam Wilson.
So there are several groups. I think they'll play that for comedy in the early part of the film, but
it'll
that
just
movie,
be like anymore. Yeah.
I have heard some things about Doomsday that actually sound pretty cool. I don't want to say, live here, but
did you hear them from our friend?
Yeah, I heard them. I've heard things. Okay. I can't say anything. I don't want to say anything yet.
Tell me tomorrow, but
I'll tell you.
Ultimately, though, here's the thing. does anyone even care really at this point? Like that's the question.
The thing is, it seemed like every Marvel movie was a building block and telling one story, and none of 4, 5, and phase whatever we're into, they don't seem to be building toward anything.
Yeah,
Exactly.
in phases 1 through 3. In phases 1 through 3, you had 5 Infinity Stones everyone was chasing.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. There's no
that was-
overarching story. That is my main question to people who like phases like 5 and 6, whatever. What is the overarching story? What is it? What is it leading to?
Everyone
Nobody
becoming
can answer
iconic.
The villain,
Well,
the
it
villain
was
of
Kang
this
for a
entire
very long
phase.
time.
Remember, the villain was supposed to be Kang,
Yeah.
and he's gone. So what are we building towards? We don't even have the villain is not going to get introduced into the 6th. Come on, this is
It was
ridiculous.
Doom all along. It was Doom all along. Jeffromatics for 10. I'm taking offense to those ticket prices. It's $40 cheaper to take my family to a minor league baseball game than going to the movies. I get it's 2 different forms of entertainment, but damn.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I don't go to a
Thank you,
major
Jeff.
league baseball game.
Blood of Biscuit 92 got a Rumble rant. The concept of a Superman movie comes from Nietzsche's idea of an overman who rises above or overcomes human limitations. That's a story people want to see. People want stories, not allegory. Just saying. Oh, just stop these tours. 2 Penny Puppet for 5. This weekend, when all of you are watching Superman, you can find me down the hall watching One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Was that
Let's
this
go.
weekend?
5 Academy Awards.
Thanks to Penny Puppet. Yes, it's one of
Fathom
those
events.
Fathom events.
Yep.
Jinhyu for $7.42. He should keep his replies like Elliot Richards in Bedazzled. You want to play good? You hope you play good. I think we played pretty good tonight.
Yes. Thank you, Sean Hu.
RJ McCready for 5. Nick Shager is a Snyder warrior. Read his post history while at Atlantic and after. Dude's a Snyder fanatic. He also said Cat 4 was amazing. Laugh out loud. Yes, laugh out loud.
Oh God. Yeah, well, that explains everything.
Albert, not a retro for 10. Like Chris Reeves said, Miss Lane, I'm here to fight for truth, justice, and the Halliburton profits. I mean, my own self-interest. I mean, the American way.
Well, there we are. Thanks, Albert.
Andrew Cram for 10. What is the background on crypto? Why is it in the film according to the comics? Why is this dog in the Superman world? Because he's babysitting.
Well, it's Supergirl's dog.
He's babysitting Supergirl's dog. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because she's off drunk, apparently.
She's on spring break.
Albert, not a retro for 10. Hail, Steph, High Priestess of the cult of Spicy Slayer of She-Hulks, Destroyer of the Coven on The View, Crusher of Trendy Bimbos, Bane of Zegler, and Stomper of Lively, Dismantler of Gunn. Who's next?
Dismantler of Gunn. That's new. I don't know.
I love that.
Just
That
keeps
is
growing.
I know that was new.
Very impressive
That
title.
is quite the intro, man.
By the way, a drunken
Wow.
sorority sister is, I believe, just a description of her personality. Because, I don't think Kryptonians get drunk unless they take kryptonite to.
Well, that's gonna wrap it up for us today. I want to say thanks to our mods, Lord Thoth, MK Solid, producers Atomic Glory, Glenn Ucho. Thanks to my panelists. Tell people what you are going to be up to. So.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. So yeah, I will have a nightcap tomorrow after Superman. I'm also going to do an out of the theater review so check for that. And then I'm off to Anime Matsuri in Houston. So I'll be in Houston, Texas from Thursday to Sunday. Be covering that event and also dropping videos every day. So check for that. Appreciate it, Chris. Looking forward to seeing Superman and talking about it, bro.
Sweet.
Yeah, I have my Ironheart reviews coming out this week along with my Superman review, and I'll probably also be talking about Black Snape this week as well.
My condolences on Ironheart. That's a rough one.
That was hard.
That one is
Difficult to
rough.
What's up, y'all? Dante Rebel Riot. Follow me on YouTube, Rumble, and X. And this Thursday, I'll have a special guest, Ashton Blaze, joining me on VRL, 6 p.m. PST.
Sweet. And also, you'll be doing Superman coverage.
And I'll be doing Superman tomorrow.
You're doing Superman? Wow. Well,
Whoa.
you become gentle and giving.
Just Lois
Lane. We're all doing Superman tomorrow. He's very giving. He's got a lot of energy.
Oh
I
my.
can't wait for it to be over. Badgercast, 30 minutes. We'll talk about all the things. all the things.
All right, and that wraps it up for us today. Tomorrow night, Film Threat After Dark. We'll do a short stream, early reaction, and then I'm gonna pop around and watch. Everyone is welcome to join or do your own thing. Alan and I will be doing that. And then what else, Alan? Got a lot going on this week.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing Spinal Tap tonight. Taking the kid.
Nice.
Be seeing it the first time.
And my prediction on Alan's Superman review.
Yeah, we hate everything.
It's pretty much what it's going to be. So there you go. All right. Thank you to everyone who sent in a super chat. Thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow night to talk Superman. Alan,
let's get out of here.